Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time.
In this week's episode of the Kindness Project, we talk about the marathon, Cornwall, and we have part 2 of our interview with Andy Furneaux from St Francis Hospice.
Welcome one and all to another episode of the Kindness Project. I'm joined today by two blokes. One of them keeps making fun of my hair.
And one of them is a member of the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock club. It's Chris, that's me, and it's Russell. And I admire Russell's commitment to early mornings. What's the earliest you've been up this week, Russ?
3:30.
That's not a morning. That's halfway through the night, isn't it?
No, 3:30 is a good time to get up. You get a lot done at 3:30.
What? Because nobody else is around you, mate.
When nobody's about and it's quiet.
Right. Okay. I thought you'd gotten to that age where you need to get up halfway through the night and go for a wee.
No, I know you.
You have, though, haven't you? You have got to that age, Rose, haven't you?
I do go for a wee at 3:30 in the morning, but but I don't specifically get up to wee in the night.
Ah, right. Okay. You sure?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. How about you, Charlotte?
Well, not really.
Right.
I don't really have to wake up to use the toilet.
You know what? This is the thing. I'm not a big advocate. You know, they talk about like there's loads of books and stuff like that out there about getting up early and getting the day done and stuff like that. I'm not a big subscriber to that early morning stuff, but actually the more
there's a point to it though. So
I agree.
I know you were saying the other day when you're in the office, everybody wants something from you, but at 5 a.m, nobody else is there.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody else is asking you anything.
But I think there's a million ways that you can manage your time that doesn't involve getting up super early. Do you know what I mean?
I just find it works for me. It don't work for everybody, but it works for me.
Yeah, fair enough. It's, but I mean, I suppose the other big thing for me is, you're right, Russ. Carving out that time in your day so that nobody disturbs you is key, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you can choose. But I don't see that having to be at 5 o'clock in the morning. I tell you the challenge that I'm facing at the minute. I always leave sort of going like training to the end of the day, and I'm genuinely more likely to put it off if I train at night because I go, oh, it's too late.
That's the trouble I have with the gym.
Yeah. But if I do it in the morning, it's probably going to be a bit easier. But yeah, all good. I am seeing people running today. I think it was mentioned earlier on. I am off to see the London Marathon, which I'm really excited about because this is the first time I've been to the London Marathon and haven't been running it.
Good. I'm really.
Is that it? Is that?
I'm really close here, but are you going to be a little sort of? I wish I was running once you get there.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know whether it'll inspire me or I will see people really feeling the pain and going, that like a year and a bit ago, that was me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not writing it off doing another one completely because if New York came up, I'd go to New York and do it.
Can you enter or do you have to be invited?
Well, the time I run the marathon, mate, I'm never going to be invited unless they want they do a marathon for the slowest runners ever.
That thing about the Boston Marathon we was watching the other day said you had to be invited to that one.
I think the Boston Marathon's different. I think the New York Marathon, they have about 50,000 people, so it's a bit more open. So I wouldn't, and you can there's a tourist package you can buy where you get a week away flights and entry into the marathon. So that might be one to consider. I'm doing a couple of runs this year, booked in. the maximum's 10 miles. So
Oh, they're short
I'm
ones.
not. Huh?
They're short ones.
Short
10 miles ain't short.
The
10
look of
miles
this.
is
Well,
the 10 miles is-
compared to 26 point whatever it is,
Right. Yeah.
it's quite short. Yeah.
10 miles is the kind of distance people go, bit long, isn't it? Why don't we get in the car? Like, that's not short.
Well, I mean, so 10 miles is probably. I don't know. I don't know whether I want to be running any longer than a half marathon at the minute. So 10 miles is decent. The other one I'm doing is a 10k, so that's only a 6 miler. And you can do that. You can do that in an hour, and just like, I mean, the reason that I do it,
Oh.
chaps.
I say short. I'd definitely rather you do it than me.
Well, maybe we should do a kindness project half marathon.
No, we're not going to.
What,
No, that's a definite no.
Charlotte?
I'd get 10k and fall flat on my face.
Right, you
And
two.
I'll be
You need to have
about-
faith in you.
I'll be about 9k behind her.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Right. I'll tell you what we do. We get a shopping trolley. Right? If one of you gets tired, we bang you in the shopping
Hey,
trolley.
why a shopping trolley? Why not a wheelchair?
Because neither of you are disabled, and that would be a bit of an insult.
But with a shopping trolley, you got to climb in, you got to stop. You ain't going to get good time, are you?
I'm not worried about time if I'm
With
doing
a
it with you two,
wheelchair,
am I?
you
Let's
could
be
just-
honest.
With a wheelchair, you just scoop us up as we're going along.
Scoop you up as you're going along. How about we meet in the middle? Wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow works.
It's so
Wheelbarrow.
hard to manoeuvre.
How do you know?
If we bring the wheelbarrow out when I'm not pushing the wheelbarrow, I can't do it.
Sorry, where's your wheelbarrow pushing experience come from, Charlotte?
Sorry, with a wheelbarrow, you have to have even distribution of the weight, and a
Right.
person it's not even distribution, are they?
Right.
So if you're leaning one way, then you're more likely to tip
Okay.
one way.
Okay, let's go the other way. Skateboard, and then we pull you.
No, skateboard's no good.
All right. Car.
Car works.
That mitigates the entire point because someone would have to be driving.
No, you can pull the car. Me and Ruds can sit in it, Charlotte, and you can, like world's strongest man, you can pull it.
Has to be a car with a trailer, though, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
You have to have a trailer one. Where you going to keep your snacks as she's pulling us along?
Oh, yeah, fair enough. We need a trailer as well, Charlotte, that you got to pull for the snacks. We need space for the snacks.
Why if I get angry with the momentum?
Exactly.
Put it in the back of the car with you.
Exactly. No, we need an entire trailer for Russell's snacks. That's what we need. Russell needs his own. If Russell is driving in a car for the entire 10 miles, he needs a snack trailer in case it gets peckish. What's in your snack trailer, Russ?
I don't eat much snack now.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't eat many snacks now. It'll be an empty trailer.
What? So you're making Charlotte pull an empty trailer just for a gag about snacks?
It wasn't
Oh.
a gag. I'm being serious. We need snacks. You need drinks and. God
But
knows
what are you putting in the snack trailer, Russ?
I'm putting drinks and
What drinks? What you having?
maybe some crisps.
Some crisps.
It-
Now, I go back to Charlotte's original comment. Why couldn't you put them in the car with you?
Yeah, but that causes clutter, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can't
Yeah,
have
it's
clutter,
great. Put
Charlotte.
it in the back of the car.
Are we doing this then? 'Cause
No.
we seem quite serious about doing this now.
No. We're definitely not doing it.
Kindness project. We'll start at a 10k. We'll start at a 10k.
That's far too high.
Definitely not happening.
All right, fair enough. All right. What else is happening, ladies and gents?
Yeah, go on, Charlotte.
No, I didn't have anything to say.
Oh, nothing.
Can I remind you about the dynamics of a podcast?
I'm looking at my next holiday.
Oh, go on.
Well, Kenny's mum and dad mentioned going down to Devon in their camper van. And I've always wanted to see the Eden Project.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
They've got a tropical house there where they keep the reptiles.
Yeah, been in
And-
it. It's
And
very
I
good.
want to go and see it.
That's Cornwall, though, Raz.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So you're
Oh,
thinking about going down to Cornwall?
so I'm thinking about doing that this year.
Yeah, the Eden Project is definitely worth a visit. I absolutely love it down there, and the beaches in Cornwall. If you get the weather in Cornwall, there's no better place in the world. Do you remember when we did? We went a couple of years ago during. I think it was during one of those gaps, 2021, between lockdowns.
Yeah.
I remember you hired an house, didn't you?
It was my mate's place. So
Yeah.
my mate bought a holiday home down there, and actually, we need to get in touch with Joe because I wouldn't mind doing that again. He, so it was in Perranporth. So Perranporth is on the Cornish coast, and we got some sort of bodyboards, and literally we spent. So we got these bodyboards, went out to. When one day, I mean, we did St Ives and we did the Tate, we did loads of really good stuff. One thing I did want to mention on the podcast, Sophie and I were over at Stratford the other day, Russ.
Yep.
And they've built a brand new Victoria and Albert Museum over it's called V&A
That wasn't
East.
with Soph, that was with me.
Oh yeah, of course it was. Oh yeah, sorry, Charlotte. It was while you were down and looking after me, wasn't it?
That's an unfortunate mistake, isn't it?
Once you've had more than one, they all merge into one. To be honest, Russ, it gets a bit confusing.
So they built a new one over there then.
Yeah.
And architecturally, Charlotte, what did you think?
It was a cool building.
It was, wasn't it?
At the Victoria and Albert, we went to do that hump thing.
Yeah, when we did the adventure challenge, going around the but they've built one east now, and when that opens, I'll be taking either Charlotte or Sophie or a combination of the two, or maybe I'll get confused and take the wrong one. I don't know.
Whereabouts in Stratford is it?
It's on the Olympic Park.
Oh,
yeah. So you walk into the Olympic Park, and it's
it's more Leytonstone than Stratford, isn't it?
No, it's the Stratford side. So it's definitely worth a visit. But we did when we went to Cornwall last, and I've been Cornwall now 3 or 4 times. We did the St Ives. We did do you remember that freezing cold swimming pool, Charlotte? That Lido that we went into. We did that. We did loads of different stuff. And then, but one day we just got bodyboards and just went out to sea, and we sort of just jumping up and down on the bodyboards. And time flew.
I was writing a list of things I like doing, and they never do now.
Yeah,
that was yesterday. And
what was on the list?
Sea swimming is one of them things I love to get in the sea.
Yeah, so definitely, get a bodyboard, Rush. Just go jumping in the sea.
I'm not bothered about a bodyboard. I like to swim in the sea.
Yeah, definitely worth giving a go. So certainly, Cornwall is definitely recommended. And on that note, shall we move on to another episode of
Kindness News?
Now, I'm feeding for you at the minute, Charlotte, because clearly you are on the bottom part of the cold flu curve, and yet you've still turned up to record the podcast. Thank you for that. Do you want to do the first kindness news for me?
Yeah, I'll do it. Rockdale's Army of Kindness and Penny Appeal host Iftar event. The Army of Kindness and Penny Appeal partnered to host the Rochdale Iftar for over 200 people on the evening of Sunday the 16th of April. An iftar is the evening meal after breaking the day's fast during the holy month of Ramadan. The event aimed at feeding the homeless, refugees from Syria, Iraq, Somalia, Sri Lanka, Palestine, Ukraine, and many more took place at St Andrew's Methodist Church on Entwales Road and was a resounding success. Mohammed Shiraz, spokesperson for the Army of Kindness, said, "We are delighted to have partnered with the Penny Appeal to launch the Rochdale Iftar. It was an amazing evening where we came together to share in the spirit of kindness and generosity. Penny Appeal is a fantastic charity that shares our values, and it was an honour to work alongside them to make a difference in our community." The CEO of Penny Appeal said, "We are thrilled to have partnered with the Army of Kindness to launch the Rochdale Iftar." Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was it. You know what? I think there's two elements that I love about that story. Number one is that collaboration to do good. We are hoping to get them on the podcast pretty soon. But I was at an event last week where there was a project there called the Felix Project, and they work to effectively a third of the food that is in supermarkets and restaurants gets wasted. A third of the food in supermarkets and restaurants gets wasted, and they work to make sure that gets distributed to people who need it.
This is exactly why we need a snack train car with a couple of drivers.
You got to bring it back to you, Russ, haven't you? Eh? So are we having a snack train so that people can take from the snack train, or is it for you?
I'm not adverse to people borrowing stuff.
Ah, right, okay. Borrowing stuff. You mean they've got to give it back?
Oh no, so taking stuff. So
taking stuff, right? Okay, fair enough. So what are you going to have on the snack train that people can pinch then?
Well, it's like the little tables that you have going around, isn't it?
Yeah, like a Haribo and jelly beans and stuff like that.
Bananas.
Yeah.
We'll try not to run anybody over as we're going round, but
a curly whirly.
Jelly babies.
Now, why does nobody? Oh, no, you know what? I know why you don't have a curly whirly as you're running around. Too chewy, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Also,
curly whirly.
If you're sweaty and you're holding a curly whirly, it just melts. You're stuck there, didn't you? You're stuck with a curly whirly.
Oh God. Oh, you've got curly whirly hands, all brown hands as you're running along. It's just
the wrong thing.
Chocolate. Chocolate hands running marathon. Oh God. What's the matter with you? I've got curly whirly hands. Oh God. Anyway, shall I do? Oh no, sorry, the Felix Project I was talking about.
Yeah.
So Russell put me off with his snack train. So Felix Project, their job effectively is to make sure that this unused food, a third of unused food, goes to causes that need it. And it came from a husband and wife team whose son died, and they wanted to build something. It was all about legacy for their son, and he was a really kind boy, so they built this thing. And the interesting thing for me is that none of it works without everybody getting involved. So you need the supermarkets involved, you need the restaurants involved, you need the charities who distribute the stuff, food banks, and sort of charities that cook meals for the homeless. But also you need this big logistical job in the middle. And what they do is encourage people who work for businesses to give a day or a few days of their time. I think they do a lot of work with Canary Wharf Group to drive the vans and shift stuff around and stuff like that.
Fabulous idea.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm really excited about speaking to one of the founders of that over the next few weeks. I think we're trying to get that arranged now, but it's really, really good.
We are.
But let's talk about another act of kindness in Fareham. Fairham's Boundary Oak School has been spreading random acts of kindness around towns in Hampshire. Pupils from Boundary Oak School, Fareham, have spent the last couple of weeks spreading random acts of kindness across towns in Hampshire as part of their Pay It Forward initiative. Patford is about spreading kindness to others and responding to acts of kindness by being kind to somebody else in return. Patford Day is on April the 28th. Inspired by Boundary Oaks Year 1 pupil, Isla Kurana, who spread kindness by offering free coffee and cake at her parents' business, Casemate Studios in Portsmouth, several pupils followed in her footsteps. This included more than 15 students leaving chocolates, flowers and notes with kind words in several places across Hampshire, including at Porchester Castle, Bishop's Waltham's Doctor's Surgery and St John's the Baptist Church in Shedfield. Year 6 student and anti-bullying ambassador George Gasser purchased daffodils from a farm shop with his pocket money, which he then gave to the elderly community in Southampton. Kellyanna Haynes Wilmot in Year 6 refused to let her family holidays stop her from spreading kindness while visiting Legoland, and she left a trail of notes with kind words and toys across the site. Boundary Oaks headmistress Sophie Savage said, "I firmly believe kindness is not simply something you do, but something you are. And for this reason, kindness has no boundaries nor limitations. At Boundary Oak, compassion and empathy are qualities key to our school community and integral to our school's aim to be happy and successful. The children not only understand the importance of being kind, but proactively look for ways to do more, and it is one of the many things that makes me so proud to be this school's head teacher." The students' random acts of kindness followed a donation of £5,798 by the school to the plethora of chosen charities, raised via a year-long series of fundraising events. The proceeds were donated to Boundary Oaks chosen charities, which were the World Wildlife Fund for Nature, Team Seas, and children's cancer charity Alice's Ark. Donations have also gone to BBC Children in Need and Comic Relief. So, I love the idea of teaching kids about kindness. I think it's really important. I think there's a tendency, and I think I've been through it certainly, as you get older, to become more cynical about the world and think the world is a less kind place. And I'm hoping the younger generations continue.
I think there's definitely a trend towards schools teaching kindness rather than.
Well, it's interesting because at our book, the Kindness Project book launch, I realise I haven't plugged the book yet, right? So I better do that. At the Kindness Project book launch, we had a couple of teachers there, and they did share the book with their schools, which I think was a really good thing. I think encouraging conversations about how we can be, like I wrote in the book, just a little bit kinder. Not life changing. We're not expecting people to change the world with doing a good thing. People have got busy lives with a lot of overlapping priorities, but just doing something for good every now and again, over and above what you're doing at the minute, is probably not only good for the individual involved, but also good for community at large. So I'm hoping more people do that. And on that note, let's move on to this week's interview. It's with Andy from St Francis Hospice, part 2 of that interview. And Andy is Andy's an old guest. I don't know if I should call him an old guest. Andy's been a friend of the podcast for a long time, and joined us to give us an update on St Francis Hospice, talk about what's going on in his world and his life, and share some memories about being on the Kindness Project.
During like 2022 has been that year where everybody's turned around and gone, I've been able to do that sort of stuff for the last couple of years, so I'm all right spending a bit more money on it, right? That's the reality. Yep. Talk to me about what's next. So I love the idea of the Jumbulance, by the way.
Well, that's never been done before. So
you know what? Funny enough, I was in London yesterday for some work stuff, and I texted Kaz and Soph and said, because I was at Covent Garden, and the trees are up, and London during Christmas time is magical. Now, Cassie and I differ in our opinion of when Christmas actually starts. For me, it's the 1st of December. For her, it's sometime in August. But I love the feeling of like the festive period in London. So that's going to be an amazing day. But talk to me a little bit about what else is going on.
You know what, Chris? Right now, I couldn't be any busier if I tried. We have 3 things that are going on all at the same time, and Jumbulance is extra to that. I didn't know about Jumbulance, but so the biggest things we've got right now is we run a Christmas Jumper Day campaign. We do that with businesses and schools. Now, you know my darling Sean, who works with me. Sean works with all of the schools in the catchment area. He works incredibly hard, and we get all of the schools doing a Christmas Jumper Day. And even if those kiddies are doing 50 pence or £1, it's something to patient care.
100%.
And Sean explains it to them in a way without getting complicated about complex illnesses. He explains about people being poorly, and what they're doing will raise money for a patient's meal, and they understand that. So we do it like that. So all the schools that support us are doing the Christmas Jumper Day. A lot of the businesses are doing Christmas Jumper Day, and I've got very, very smart people going, well, I don't wear a Christmas jumper. And I say, but you would for patient care, wouldn't you? Right? So I've got the Christmas Jumper Day. We've also got the Mistletoe Market, which I think is the 27th of November. It's a Sunday. Don't quote me on that, but we're working on that. The Mistletoe Market, that's taking place at the Forest Row Centre. So we're off site for this one because we needed a slightly bigger venue. There's some lovely stalls that are pitching up. And again, our Christmas markets are infamous. We've been doing them for years. The community love them. So we've got Jumper Day, we've got the Mistletoe Market. And the big thing, which if you'd been at Hornchurch Plus yesterday, I was talking about, is the Christmas tree recycling campaign.
Help me understand how that works.
I'd love to. I'd love to.
Me.
People say to me, so how does the hospice make money from recycling? I go, no, that's not how we make the money. What happens is Mr. and Mrs. Dames go down to the local Christmas tree place and buy a real tree. And they bring it home. And when they bring it home, it's caged in a net, so the bristles aren't going everywhere. And you bring it home and you cut open the net, you open it, the tree opens in its splendour, and you have it up throughout December, just past New Year's Eve. And then you think,
no, August.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Cassie loves Christmas.
Okay.
So
okay.
We might just keep it up all the way through the year. Why not?
Go for your life. Go for your life. But what generally happens is as we get past New Year, people go, right, okay, got to take the tree down now. And they think, oh, I really don't want the hassle of taking it to the dump. I really don't want the hassle of all of the bristles from the tree, all in the car. Oh, I don't want that. So what we do is we say, okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. For a donation, we will come and collect your tree from your drive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So people register their tree, Christopher. Right? What happens is we go out again. We have an army of businesses that provide vans, volunteers. We do it. It's a lot of graft, but it's a lot of fun.
And it's a win-win, isn't it? Because like I don't want the hassle of taking that tree down to the dump or wherever it goes to be recycled.
Yep.
And the hospice gets the donations they need.
Benefits.
To make sure they're okay.
So what happens, Chris, is that we then go out and we do this in Havering and Brentwood, right? So what happens is that we have drop spots. So we might use Sharp Skips over in Raynham, who are big supporters of the hospice, but they give us an area where the guys can come in and dump the trees. The public are not dumping the tree; we're doing it, right?
Yeah.
So we come in, we dump there. We used Drapers Academy last year. We had Shenfield Cricket Club last year. It's all organised, right? And you go, and then we've got companies like tree surgeons, chippers, and all that. All give their time, all give their machinery. Chris, have you ever seen how quick it takes to chip a Christmas tree?
I bet it's quick, isn't it?
Seconds.
One of those proper machines.
Seconds.
Yeah.
So you've got all these hundreds of trees, and they just go shum, 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 and it's all shit. I guess what happens is for those guys who give their time and machinery, there has to be some benefit to them. What I understand is that those chip-ins can be sold to things like golf clubs and things like that. So that's their perk to doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. They're giving their time, their machinery. Fantastic. For us, we make the money from all the trees that get registered.
Yeah, exactly. So people make a donation. And is there a typical minimum donation? What happens in terms
Do you know what, Chris? You're going to get some people, because you're dealing with every age group, and of course you're dealing with the elderly as well. So you're going to get some people that will donate £5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The way I see it, Chris, and you know me, I'm a very down to earth person. If an elderly person donates £5 for us to take that tree away, that will pay for a patient's meal.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
100%.
indeed. But
Yeah.
then you'll get people who are doing better and go, do you know what? There's a
But you know what, as well,
£25 donation.
I mean, and I know we've spoken about this before, but it's a relationship with you and the hospice you're trying to build, isn't it? And £5 might be one year, but it might be, well, actually, I'm going to do a fundraising thing next year that's going to be a bit
Absolutely.
more.
Absolutely.
So, like that relationship is probably what, like, sort of worth to the hospice a lot more than that fiver. But it's important to start that somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say if you're asking me on an average, I'd say the average is probably £10. That would be
Yeah.
the average. But you're going to do some less, some more. You'd get some people. In actual fact, you can't advertise it as it's a price. So some people actually register the tree and don't donate anything.
Right.
That's you win some, you lose some. But
yeah, but most people
do. And here's the thing,
Yeah.
Chris, like we've been doing this now before COVID again. I don't know what year this is now because the year's passed me by. But where we raise money at it each year, the directors here keep raising the targets, Chris. So what happens is they go, right, okay, Christmas tree recycling 2021, 2022, 23. Let's put that at £30,000. Yes, let's do that. So
without having to actually do the work.
no, but honestly, me and Sean are often out till dark. But I love every minute of it, Chris.
Amazing.
I love it.
Talk to me about. So we've talked a lot about what's going on during the festive period. I'd imagine you're planning for next year already, right?
Always.
What's going on next year?
So what always happens, Chris, is you've always got campaigns in fundraising. It's not all about luck; it's strategic.
Yeah.
So I'll take it back to the pandemic. We had a campaign that was called Step Up for St Francis, when the only thing that people could do was walk. Because we were all locked down.
Yeah.
They calculated that a St Francis Hospice nurse on average does around 13,000 steps per shift.
Right.
So we were asking for the month of March, could our supporters do 13,000 steps a day?
Yeah.
And we've done that for the last few years. So I would have thought that once Christmas tree recycling is done and dusted, we'll turn our attention to Step Up campaign. Then Go Orange will come in July, which is again, it's businesses, it's schools.
But then I suppose you've got the marathon in April again.
Of course we have.
Yeah.
Which is good. Do you know what? For us financially, Chris, the fact that we did one in October and it spun around quickly to April, that's good fundraising for us.
Yeah, amazing. Love it. Absolutely love it. If our listeners, viewers want to sort of get involved, help the hospice, what's the best place to start?
Easiest way, and it's all been updated recently, and it's a dream, is www.sfh.org.uk. Go and have a look on the website. There's every conceivable way that you can help. From signing up as a volunteer to do something with us at weekends, to play in the weekly lottery that supports the hospice, to sponsoring one of our nurses that are out in the community and on the inpatient unit, to joining my baby, which is the Hospice 100, which I've spoken to you about.
Oh,
again,
you know what? We haven't talked about that on the podcast.
We haven't.
Let's give that a quick plug.
What's plug, okay.
Hospice 100.
So the Hospice 100 is very easy to get involved. My dream and what I'm going to do is I need to recruit 100 successful local businesses that can pledge to raise a minimum of £1,000 in a period of 12 months. Now, that doesn't mean they've got to give £1,000 in one go. They might do a fundraiser that raises 250, then another one that raises 500, and then do something else, another 250. They pledge to do £1,000 in a period of 12 months. Chris, you're a financial planner. You're good at mathematics. If I can get 100 businesses doing £1,000 a year, that's £100,000 a year to help secure the future of St Francis Hospice. Yeah. That's my dream. That's my aim. I'm about 38, 39 businesses in.
And mate, I'm
doing okay.
Work.
When I get to 100, I'm going for a long lay down.
Yeah, well, I mean, and again, we've had this conversation before. If you can get those 100 commit every year.
Yes, sir.
And I know the budget for St Francis is a lot more than 100k a year. It's millions, but you can get people to commit 100k a year and turn around and go, well, look, that's probably going to last for 10 years. You'll have some businesses drop off and some come on, but
absolutely.
That base is a great place to start the year in terms of knowing that income's coming in, right?
But what I do believe, and I'm a firm believer in this, Chris, is that it's about partnerships. It's
Yeah,
about building
100%.
partnerships. And the Hospice 100 gives back. What it does is for those businesses that are going to partner with us, they receive an exclusive logo. There's only going to be 100 businesses with this logo. You can use that on your social media, on your stationery, on your own websites. Okay. What will also happen is every single one of those businesses that are pledging to raise money, there is a Hospice 100 page on our website. It will have the logo of the company. So let's just say, for argument's sake, Cervelo were doing it, Chris. There'd be a logo for Cervelo. And then when you click on Cervelo's logo, it instantly takes you to your website.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
what's happening is, you can trust me on this. Our website's probably got a lot more traffic than yours, let's say, Chris. Right. So what happens is our supporters are seeing what our supporters are doing.
Yeah. No, I really like that. That's
It's
amazing.
fantastic. It's
And
working
are you
fantastically
pleased
well.
with the traction that's had so far?
Yes,
What did you
I am.
expect up to this
Do you know
point?
what? I knew it would be tough. And I'm not gonna deceive you, Chris. There are other charities that are doing this. It's nothing new. It's just something we needed to do here. I mean, Havens do it. Little Havens do it. They've got a Havens 100. We need to do it. And from that, what I'm going to do again, pre-pandemic, we had our own Business Alliance networking group here, and that's died off because of the COVID. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start the Business Alliance again, but with the Hospice 100 businesses, because they're warm supporters, they're already pledging. I'm going to bring them to the Hospice. We're going to have, monthly meetings or 2 monthly meetings where businesses are meeting businesses, and the common denominator is they're all supporters of the Hospice.
Yeah, and actually, you all know you know that they're all do well, do good style businesses.
Absolutely,
Now, hopefully that
million
means they
percent.
can potentially work together.
And someone like you, Chris, and I'd probably have you there as a speaker that day.
Yeah.
Because you're a big supporter of St Francis Hospice. You believe in what we do. And I would probably have you there as a speaker that day. Just a local man, a local business, speaking to other local businesses. You do it all day, every day. It's your bread and butter anyway. But I'm not silly enough to think an intelligent man like you could be a big link in my chain.
Amazing. Well, look, if anything, and again, we're committed because you're a good friend of mine. Part one, I know the amazing work you do, and I love you to bits. Can I just tell you a quick story, right?
Please do.
So I took my dad. I had my graduation last week, didn't I?
Saw your pictures.
Yeah, it was really good, and it's weird, right? So I took my dad. Went to the graduation, took my dad, and he said to me, we went out for dinner after my cousin came, and it was such a lovely afternoon. Few too many gins, but we can live with that every now and again. But the interesting thing is, and this is one of the things I love about you. So if we're sharing compliments, let me share one with you. The fact that you're so emotionally open means that every conversation we have feels really authentic to me. It's really good. But here's how that's changed in the generations, right? So I'm 45. You're a little bit older than me, aren't
55.
you? 55. So my dad's 74, right? And I said to he made me like, I was in tears because we were at dinner and he went, you know what? Your granddad, my dad, would have loved seeing this today, and he wouldn't have believed that you would have owned your business and like sort of did all this stuff. And I was like, that was it, Andy. I was like, oh God, it's like, don't say that. And I looked up and I went, you know I love you, don't you? And he turned around and went, I feel the same way. I was like, you are allowed. We are 2022 now. You are allowed to say, I love you. And he went, yeah, I do feel that. I was like,
oh.
But you know what? And this is weird because I was having this conversation yesterday. I think in terms of having conversations about emotion and conversations about, doing good and conversations about authenticity, we've moved on so much in that period. I know he loves me. I get that, but it's interesting how that's changed, and that's one of the things I've learned from you. The fact that you are so emotionally authentic is one of the things that I absolutely respect. So thanks for being my friend.
That's such a nice thing to say, Chris. And do you know what? The day that I walked in to do the Kindness Project with you, we'd never met. We didn't know each, and what an incredible friendship that's been formed
100%.
from
Love it.
that, and all what you stand for, and how hard you and Charlotte have worked over the years at doing it, and now you're at the book stage, and I just think, wow, that's a journey.
Yeah, it's been good fun. It's been amazing fun. So thank you for being part of it and continuing to be part of it. I've really
I
loved it.
feel very privileged, very privileged.
Amazing. Russ, how was that?
So that was the second part of the interview with Andy. Now we've got. Now, are you too ill, Charlotte, to do joke of the week? The answer is yes, and
Yeah,
that's it
I
for the
think
Kindness
so.
Project.
Yeah.
Now, are you too ill to do joke of the week, or is Russell going to do it? Because last week,
Let Russell
Russ-
do it.
Well, I've got no jokes for you today.
I've got one, but
go on, give it a go.
knock.
Who's there?
No.
No, who?
None of your business.
Right, I know you're ill. But the phrase "low effort,"
Oh, no, you can't play it like that. She's ill. Leave her alone.
the phrase "low effort" comes to
No,
mind.
Russ, don't worry about it. I expect this from him.
Even the joke, none of your business. Even the joke.
I found it quite amusing, Charlotte. I like it.
And on that note, my friends, that's the end of another podcast. Have a lovely week, and we'll see you on the Kindness Project soon.
Bye.
Bye.